guys, we're back.
I think it peaked. I think your audio peaked when you did that.
Hey guys, we're sorry.
It's fine.
Hey guys. How many times do I have to say hey guys? Okay. Hey guys, welcome to our new podcast. We're here to talk about whatever the fuck we want. Usually every Thursdays.
We're not gonna post it on Thursdays.
We're not gonna post it on Thursdays.
We're recording on Thursdays.
When are we
Yes.
gonna post?
It doesn't matter. We can figure this out later.
Okay, alright, we are rolling. Hey guys, my name is Em, and I'm here with my two very good friends, and we're starting this new podcast, this new epic podcast where we talk about anything we want. And when I mean anything, I really genuinely mean anything we want. Whatever
Anything
the fuck we want. And, I'll let my two friends give their own introductions.
Hi everybody, I'm Fernified, and I'm also here with my dear friend. Say your fucking name.
I'm Joanne. My god, I'm sorry. I was trying not to laugh through that. I failed, obviously, but I'm Joanne.
I went on a plane recently, and on that plane ride, I had to piss. I drank a lot of liquids because I'm trying to stay hydrated. You know me. And I went out. I went to the bathroom.
When you said I went out, I
Yeah, I started skydiving actually.
Yeah, I just had an image of you opening the emergency door and just you
And then everybody gets sucked out of the plane into the
You're
atmosphere.
I promise, I'll make it up to you. I just really need to pee.
Anyways, I went to the bathroom and I was in there, and then it was really shaky. There was turbulence everywhere, and I was just like, what if there was so much turbulence that there was piss in the toilet and it came up? That would be so scary. And I was thinking of that the whole time, and then also it's such an enclosed space, it's literally 1 cubic foot long, and so I was in there, and I and the light the light is it only turns on when you lock it.
Wow.
This sucks.
What a story.
When I was on the plane, the guy sitting next to me was really old. This ties into my other topic that I wrote.
Oh no.
He was old, and he smelled really fucking bad because old people just smell bad, and I'm sorry. I know they can't control it. But I have a really sensitive nose, and I smell things like a bloodhound, and I'm not even exaggerating when I say this. It's actually a problem. It's actually a curse.
Do I smell bad?
No, you smell kind of good.
Oh, thank you.
I don't. You smell like nothing.
Guys, I got a compliment.
Damn.
Anyways.
But I can control my smell sometimes.
What?
We had this conversation the other day about periods.
Wait.
You can control that?
What?
Though?
No, but if you leave your period pad on for too long, then you start to smell bad.
That's one
But,
thing.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
everybody. Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought you meant that you were consciously turning on and off the certain hormones that you let out.
What do you mean? That's not normal?
You have.
I do that all the time. I have this very vivid memory from a plane trip where I was I think I was an 8-year-old kid. I don't exactly remember where I was going, but
Okay.
I got on a plane, and I don't really go on planes often, so I was like, whoa, there's a desk attached to the plane, or not the plane, the seat in front of you, and you can unhatch, and then the
Yeah.
desk comes out, and I thought it was the best thing in the world, so I kept doing it repeatedly, over and
Oh,
over and over
no.
again, and then eventually, this grandma that was sitting in front of me turned around, said to my 8-year-old face, can you please, stop? And I was, terrified. I didn't know what to say. I
Yeah.
had no excuse. I just found it really fascinating.
I kept doing it,
Oh,
but she.
You
I
kept
think she,
doing it?
I think she just gave up.
damn.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I used to kick people's seats. I was that kid.
Oh,
But
damn.
was it like intentional or like?
It wasn't intentional. It was just something I did.
Accidentally kick someone's chair.
like
Well,
there was
you
no malicious
asked.
intent
I-
behind it?
There wasn't malicious intent behind it. I was also like, I wasn't kicking it really hard. I was just like kind of lightly tapping it, and like it was just kind of something I would do mindlessly, and people would not like it. So yeah, but I'm so normal on planes now.
That's a crazy sentence, guys. I'm
so
really
normal
normal
on
on planes now. I promise.
I remember when I was like 8 years old, I went on a flight and I was flying home from like the Midwest, but there was a connection from the Midwest to like, I'm not even gonna say which place in the Midwest, it's just an awful place. The whole area. There was a connection in like Austin, Texas.
Oh.
This was I went. So I was.
You just paused for
Okay,
so
so
long.
there was a connection. There was a connection in Austin, Texas, and I was flying into Austin, Texas from a very small town, and the small town had a small airport, and the small airport had very small planes. So I was on a small plane, and those planes have worse turbulence because they don't have the wind, okay? And then I was in there. And I was reading Warrior Cats because, like, I was really into Warrior Cats. And I was reading Warrior Cats, Blue Stars. What the fuck was hers? The Blue Star Super Edition. I was reading Blue Star Super Edition.
Oh my god.
No, wait. Actually, no. I think it was Crooked Stars. It was Crooked Stars.
Yeah, this fact is really important, guys, for the story. I
Vital
promise. It's
information for the
crucial
story.
to the story.
Anyways, it was a super edition. It was a big book, very big book. I I read a lot. And also, my parents, like every time we were on a flight, they would give us like a candy bar to take on the flight so we could eat. So I had a little Hershey's bar because I'm fucking basic and normal. And can we stop like? Okay.
In case you guys didn't know, we were intimately rubbing chairs.
Yeah, and I feel like OBS is gonna pick that up and it's gonna sound really weird. I was reading Warrior Cats on the plane, and I was 8 years old, and I had a whole chocolate bar in my system, and I was on this tiny plane. There was a lot of turbulence. Stop laughing at me. It was very shaky.
Why is it quiet? I can't.
Unprofessional. Unprofessional.
For context.
Guys, I'm sorry, my Life 360 went on.
No, for context, Fern and Em can see what I'm doing, but I can't see what they're doing, so like anytime it goes quiet, I just have no idea what's going on.
Also, we should probably explain the fact that technically I'm supposed to also have my own screen and my own system and my own headphones. However, I can't.
She has a shitty little MacBook.
I know,
I
and it's
also
not
have a shitty little
working.
MacBook. But
How did you do it?
well, okay. It's my setups. I'm sorry, we're taking a break from Fern's Warrior Cats airplane story. But
It's okay, we'll get back to it. We'll circle back. It's
we'll
fine.
circle back. Basically, the way that my setup is right now is I have my iPhone connected to my computer. So that's what my webcam is. That's why it looks like I'm just kind of like looking off to the side. I'm looking at the screen right now, looking like this, though makes it look like I'm like, you know what I mean. Whatever.
Yeah.
And then I have just for my mic my like Apple headphone like here, and I had to like literally look up a YouTube video to like see how I can make it so that it doesn't sound terrible. I don't know how it's gonna sound right now, but we'll hope for the best.
It is definitely not podcast quality.
Oh yeah, for
However,
sure.
It's a little bit funny. And-
It's charming. It's quirky.
We're just quirky and different and yeah. Anyways, I was in Austin because my fucking plane. So I was reading Warrior Cats. I had a whole chocolate bar in my system. It was really the plane was there was so much turbulence. I went the whole flight. It was fine. My plane landed.
Oh god, I'm nervous.
And the second it touches the ground in Austin, Texas, I threw up everywhere.
Oh
I-
my god!
And I like projectile vomited everywhere. And so then I was just like covered in vomit, and we had to like we had to get to our connection in like 30 minutes. So then I was running like covered in vomit, and I was like nauseous still. So then I had to run while nauseous, and it was just not a good time. And so like I don't think I'll ever return to Austin, Texas, because that was just like I feel like that entire area is like cursed. There's something unholy going on there. Because I was literally fine until we touched the ground.
Bruh. It's crazy. I have a fear of throwing up, so if that actually were to
like a
happen to me,
emetophobia?
I might be traumatized. I don't know. I don't ever want to throw up.
No, that's
It's
valid.
a-
That's
It's a
valid.
horrible feeling.
It's so
I
exhausting
feel
whenever
like-
you do too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I am afraid of throwing up, but I learned, like, in the past couple years that this is what helped me get over my fear. Maybe you can hopefully do the same thing.
Welcome to counseling, guys.
I got sick from Chipotle. I talk
Oh,
about this
I
all the time.
remember
I'm sorry,
this
I'm
one.
sorry.
I remember
But I
this one.
think
It's okay.
I remember
for the
you telling
content.
us this, yeah.
It's
So-
okay. Do it for the content.
So I went to Chipotle one day, and I got dinner, and I had this burrito, right? And it tasted a little bit off, but in general, I didn't think anything of it. So then I ate that, and then at 3 a.m. that night, my stomach started like hurting really bad, and then I got up and I threw up in the bathroom, and I was like, uh-oh. And I didn't even throw up like in the toilet because I didn't have time. Like I didn't have time to get into to like lift the seat or up, whatever. So I threw up in the trash bag like right next to it.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
And then when I realized like, oh, I'm throwing up like a lot. So then I went to the toilet after that. But so I did that. And it was 3 a.m.
Oh.
And then I was at my mom's house.
Oh.
So I picked up like the trash bag, and I brought it to her room, and I was like, Mom, I threw up.
Look.
Yeah, I'm gonna show you.
And she and she was like, oh, that sucks. And I was like, yeah. So then I like
Number one response.
yeah, and then so then
Damn,
I
that sucks.
threw it out. I threw it out, obviously.
Okay, yeah.
And then that was just the start of an awful, terrible week for me. Because every time I would wake up, without fail, I would wake up at like 5 a.m, right? And then instantly go to the bathroom and throw up, and then I would go and like try to eat breakfast, and I couldn't eat anything except for like maybe soup. But like even then, my body was not letting me eat it. It was like it knew
Oh my
it knew it was
God.
gonna come back out. So it was
Dang.
like, what's the point?
Yeah.
And so I had food poisoning for a whole fucking week. I missed an entire week of school because I was shitting and throwing up and crying and peeing my pants and like
Yeah.
and, like convulsing on the floor and ripping my hair out and ripping my teeth out also and
Yeah.
and clawing my eyes out and just
So
it was
much,
a
so
terrible
much.
goddamn week. It was an awful week for me.
It sounds
and
horrible.
I think I lost like 5 whole pounds.
Oh shit.
Oh my god.
in 1 week because I just threw up everything and I couldn't eat anything.
Jesus
And I
Christ.
Oh
and
my
I was so
God.
dehydrated, like I literally thought I was gonna die. I could feel my body dying, but I literally couldn't drink or eat anything. It was so scary. and
That's
then
horrible.
Yeah.
and then I finally went to urgent care because my mom for some reason really didn't want to take me to urgent care, but eventually I got her to because I was like, why? I don't think I should I don't think I should have food poisoning for an entire week. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to stop after like 1 or 2 days.
Yeah.
Anyways, I go there and the doctor's just like, man, this sucks. Chipotle, I get Chipotle calls all the time, and I'm like, yeah. I've never been to a Chipotle since.
Wait, was this like middle school?
So- No, this was literally like last year.
Oh my
Yeah,
god!
this was. I remember when it happened too.
Yeah, it was traumatic.
Yeah, it was a pretty horrible description. Even
Dang.
back then.
No, I remember
Yeah.
there was like, you had like some other health issue in middle school, and I remember like you weren't there for like a day, but I think I just got confused.
Okay, so in middle school, I had like ovarian cysts, and I realized that I had those, and then I was like, what the freak is happening to me? And I went to urgent care, and then I got an ultrasound, and they were like, oh, you just have like things growing in there, but it's fine.
Oh my God.
They're not cancerous. It's okay. So I
Yeah.
was like, okay, that's fine.
This is middle school?
Yeah.
I feel like I have a vague memory of this too.
You were telling us about
Yeah.
this in front of like math class or something, I remember.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
It's really painful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was like-
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that
Jesus.
It's not your fault.
No, I
It's just
implanted
an
those in
unfortunate
you.
situation, yeah.
Cat,
What?
it was my fault, guys, this whole time.
You implanted them in me?
I guess the topic has now shifted to some of the worst things that have happened to us in our lives, which I think is kind of interesting.
Wait,
Yeah.
the whole point of me saying why I was like how I was throwing up was because so basically in that time when I was throwing up every single day, I realized like I reached nirvana. I realized I had like radical acceptance. Like I realized that I was going to throw up. Like every single morning I knew it was gonna happen and I just had to get through it. And so then I would wake up, I would get up off the couch because I was sleeping on the couch because I needed to be closer to the bathroom. I'm
Why, what?
It's not your fault. You were not the fucking Chipotle.
I thought you were gonna say
employee.
you were not the germ.
Yeah, you are not the E. coli that was in my Chipotle.
Well, you
Oh
had
my
E. coli?
god.
I think so because
Oh,
it was
wow.
like unnaturally a long time that I was.
Yeah.
And I literally thought I was gonna die.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Just silence.
what are you doing?
It's like
Wait.
the loading button, you know.
Oh,
What is-
yeah.
I'm missing this. Wait, what's happening?
It's fine.
It's I was doing a loading symbol.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, okay. Damn.
You wouldn't understand. You
I
just
wouldn't,
get
I
it.
wouldn't. We're not there.
Yeah, only gamers understand.
So,
Yeah.
so true.
Because, you know me, I'm a true gamer.
Okay, I'm sorry. One of the worst things that's happened to me.
I didn't even finish.
Finish your story. Finish your story.
I was like, I know it's gonna happen. I was sitting in front of the toilet every single day staring into the water, and I was like I know it's gonna come out. I'm gonna throw up every single thing that I eat today because I literally can't digest anything. And so I was sitting there every morning and I was retching, and then I realized something, that me retching, I was subconsciously like trying to stop myself from throwing up because I was scared of throwing up because it's a bad experience because I was like, oh, I'm gonna taste the grossness, like my bile. I'm gonna taste shit. I'm gonna have to. And so I was like, I need to stop. But then I was like, it's gonna happen either way. And once I do it, I'm gonna feel so much better, and I'm not gonna have to do it for another 24 hours. So then I after a while, I just like reached nirvana, and I like finally practiced radical acceptance, and I was like, I just have to do it. It's something that I can't avoid, and the longer I avoid it, the worse it gets.
Wow.
So now, next time you throw up, you should probably think, the faster I do this, the faster it's over.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Like,
I don't
if you're-
typically throw up often though.
Well, if you
but
feel like you're gonna throw up, you're gonna throw up.
probably,
So you have to just do it.
unless if it's like related to like period cramps.
Oh,
Because for me, sometimes I
God.
feel really nauseous, but I can't throw up. Sometimes.
I mean, okay, if you are like, if you've like eaten something bad and then you feel like you're gonna throw up,
Yeah, then
yeah,
you'll
you
probably
should,
throw up. Yeah.
You should do it because you ate something bad.
Yeah.
What's the worst thing that's ever happened to you?
I need to think. Joanne, you go first.
Okay, I have two. Okay, I'll tell this story that I'm about to tell relates more closely to the throwing up, I guess. But basically, like this second semester of school, I got my period, and this particular period was just like so awful for some reason. Like, I remember just being like really nauseous. I think part of it was because of my period cramps, and part of it was just because like I was really anxious for some reason around this time. So I remember very distinctly, like, I was, like, trying to go to bed, but, like, my back hurt, like, just my back, and it was, like, really uncomfortable, and I was like, I'm gonna try to sleep through this, and then I woke up, and, like, I could feel myself, like, getting nauseous, and I was like, oh, fuck. So I, like, I was just like, I'm gonna see if I can wait this out, and then I couldn't, and I was like, okay, I gotta fucking sprint to the bathroom. So I hopped up, because my bed was lofted, so I literally had to jump out of the bed and like put my shoes on and run to the bathroom. And then I threw up. And this went on for like basically the rest of the week, like just the rest of the time that I had my period. Like anytime I had like, or anytime I ate like more than like one meal, I could only keep like one meal down. So anytime I went over that, I like would just throw everything up that I had eaten that day. And it was bad because, like, I could feel that I was hungry, and I was like, I know I should be eating more than one meal a day, but I just physically cannot. And I was, like, concerned, too. I was like, am I, like, actually sick? Like what is going on? Because, like, that was the first time I've ever thrown up because of my period cramps.
Oh, I thought you meant the first time you've ever thrown up, and I was like, there's no way.
No. But, the weird thing was, like, the way that it ended was very strange, because I remember I was in one of my friend's dorms, and a different friend had brought over, like, it was so strange, it was like an anchovy pizza, which is very odd, but I remember seeing it, I was like, I'm gonna try to eat that, and we're just gonna see what happens. This can either go really well.
Anchovy pizza?
Yeah, it was anchovy pizza. So I was like, this can either go really well or really poorly, because I was in my friend's dorm. So I ate it, and I was like, oh my god, I don't need to throw up anymore, oh my god. And so I was like really happy, because I was like, I can finally eat like a normal person again. But it's also like, I can't think about it too much, because I think it's gonna psych me out, and then I'm gonna throw up again. But it was weird that the anchovy pizza was what fixed it, I guess, but yeah.
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 So now you're like conditioned every time you see anchovies. You're probably reminded of what happened.
No, it's like I kind of have like more of a positive connotation, because like that's what I ate to like, not like fix it, but like that was the one thing that I ate that I was able to keep down.
That is
you know?
true.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the opposite of me for Chipotle. I haven't stepped foot in a Chipotle since then, and I never will.
That's valid though.
It scarred me. I've been in a Chipotle, and like multiple times there have been just birds living in there. Just birds living in there, flying around in in the rafters. Just straight up like a sparrow in there. And it's like in Chipotle, you know how Chipotle is, like they have their
What was
they
that?
have they have their like ingredients set up, you know? And what if the bird shat directly into the lettuce?
Yeah, or if like, I don't know, just like a bird walking around the counter, I feel like.
Yeah.
That's a little...
Yeah, it's kind
It's
of
very unsanitary, and the employees were like, just another day.
Yep. I think, I have been inside of a Chipotle, and I think I've seen, like...
I might have also
birds.
seen that happen once.
Yeah, I think I can, I can
I
imagine that.
I don't even know how this is a problem for them, because in any other, like, I've never had that happen in any other restaurant where there's a fucking bird in the restaurant.
Yeah.
But somehow in Chipotle's, there's always a bird.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hashtag Chipotle is over party.
Literally. Dude, I knew it was over when in 2016 there was like the fucking
What?
In 2016 there was like that huge E. coli thing.
Oh, I
with
remember
Chipotle.
that.
And yeah, and then like people still went to Chipotle, like, even while that was happening.
No, yeah, I think I was in like we were all in like 6th grade, I think. I at least was in 6th grade. Or like, I remember.
We were in the same grade.
No, I mean, I remember happening in 6th grade at least. I'm sorry. We're on the same grade. But I remember it happening 6th grade at least. And for some reason, my like 6th grade class was like weirdly obsessed with Chipotle. And when I revealed that I had never eaten Chipotle, they like took it as like a personal offense. And then I remember hearing about like the E. coli stuff, and I was like, This is why you don't fucking eat Chipotle.
Exactly.
Because you get sick and die.
Mm-hmm. And now we have living proof of that right
Yes.
here.
Yeah.
Fern almost died.
But I lived, bitch. They tried to take me down. They tried to take me specifically down.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just too powerful.
You're built
Yeah.
different.
You're just too based.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were so epic.
Yeah,
You were super poggers.
I'm too epic gamer pilled
Yeah.
to be killed by something as
Yeah.
measly as.
You totally girl bossed.
Yeah, I gate kept.
You gate kept, girl bossed.
You gaslit, girl boss,
Gaslit.
E. coli.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
E. coli, you son of a bitch.
Oh my god.
I've been getting really weird sicknesses recently. And by recently, I mean in, like, the past couple years. Because, like, so that happened to me, right? And that it was, like, unnaturally bad food poisoning.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, a few months later, I got this, like, ulcer in my throat. And it was a giant ulcer. Like, it was huge.
I think, when was this?
Last year.
Because I feel like I remember this
Last
too.
year.
I feel like I remember this too.
Yeah, same.
It was, like, last spring.
Mm-hmm.
And I had this giant ulcer in the back of my throat. And at first it started as a sore throat, and I was like, oh, it's fine.
Yeah, I definitely remember this.
Yeah. And then it progressed into, like, the worst experience of my life because I couldn't...
Part two.
Like, like, I couldn't eat anything because it would hurt to eat, but I still had to eat, so I would just eat things. And
Why is everything, like, wrong with, like, your digestive system?
Okay, well, this isn't my digestive system. This is, like, a disease, a very rare disease that, like, I went to the doctor, and she looked inside, and she was like, oh, you have, like, the biggest ulcer I've ever seen.
Really?
like, in the back of my throat. And
my
she was
God.
like, yeah, there's an open wound in your throat, and that's why it's, like, why it hurts to talk and eat and even drink water. Like, even when I was drinking water... It hurts so bad because my muscles would just be, like, straining, and there's a fucking wound there, so then it's, like...
Oh my god.
That's awful.
Yeah, and I like, went there, and she was like, yeah, you have, like, this, like, disease called, like, it's, like, vagina disease, and, like, I don't know, it sounded like a vagina, what she said to me, and... She was like, yeah, usually only, like, little babies get this, but I don't, and I haven't talked to a baby in ever, so, like, I don't know how I got this.
I don't remember the last time I talked to a baby.
Yeah, I don't know how I got this disease, but I apparently, it's called, like, hand and foot disease.
Oh, I have heard of that, yeah.
And, yeah, and it's where, like, and also there's like, stuff on your hands that shows up. I didn't really get that. I really only got the...
Dude, that sounds
Yeah,
painful.
God.
How
Yeah.
do they treat that?
They just gave me this mouthwash that, like, numbs your throat. It doesn't actually numb your throat. It numbs your throat for, like, a millisecond, and then it goes down, and it's like...
Damn. That's
Yeah.
it?
Jesus Christ.
Well, I also had, like, pain relievers, but it was just, like, Tylenol.
Mm-hmm.
Did they do anything to fix it?
No,
How did the
she was
ulcer
like,
go
we
away,
can't
then?
do anything. Oh, it went away on its own.
Oh,
it just
damn.
it took like 2 weeks, but it went away.
Dude, how?
I just stopped talking as much. Which I'm sure many people enjoyed that. But I'm back now.
No.
So
Yeah, now you also girl bossed both E. coli, Chipotle E. coli, and
hand and
and
foot
your
disease.
yeah.
Yeah.
And My brother's like older, so he could drink vodka, and he just kept drinking vodka and like taking shots, and it would go away.
Oh,
because
he had
it's,
it
like,
too?
alcohol, and it's like, yeah, well, he had a sore throat, and it wasn't as bad as mine, but he definitely like had something. And when he drank the alcohol, apparently like it went away really fast. But I couldn't drink, and he was like, "You can take a shot, and I won't tell anybody."
Would you
And I
even
was
want
like,
it to though?
No,
Yeah,
I hate drinking.
that's very valid. Drink responsibly, everyone. Drink responsibly.
Drink responsibly.
It tastes bad. It smells bad. I don't even care, man. From what I've heard, being drunk doesn't even sound like a fun experience.
No, I'm sad drunk.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What if I'm probably also gonna be a sad drunk because I'm sad and normal.
Okay.
So
Me too.
Damn.
So I know I feel like a lot of like images of like college partiers are like when you get drunk you're like have like the best time of your life. But for me, I genuinely feel like I get like very sad. Like there's like I feel like all hell has broken loose, and I start being vulnerable to people I'm never vulnerable with.
yeah.
And then it's like I'm like so afraid of that because a part of me is also like it's the freaking like ballet background of always being in control. But I have like a huge fear of also losing control, which is why like I'm very like protective of like a lot of things to like sometimes an unhealthy amount. But apparently not my head though because I had a concussion. But
Oh, fuck.
How was that? Did you?
yeah, wait, so oh yeah, I should probably tell this as one of my worst experiences. It's not the concussion itself that was the horrible experience. It was the scenario. It was the situation of how I got it. I was on stage and it was at my school and I basically there's one part of the choreography. I'm a dancer. There's one part in the choreography where all 22 of us were like in a diagonal and each person was paired up. And my partner, each person had their partner and they picked their partner up and put them over their shoulder. So you're literally ragdolling over someone's shoulder and they're spinning around. So your head is upside down.
Oh my.
And they're spinning you.
Did someone drop you?
No, someone kicked me. So while I was...
I would kill that person. Honestly.
It was accidental, but because they were also upside down and spinning,
Okay,
and their
okay.
foot collided with my left temple.
Oh,
and
my
I got a
God.
concussion on stage. I just remember I felt a little gunk, and then right after that, I rolled to the floor, and then I was just laying on the floor, and I was like, this doesn't feel right. that doesn't feel okay. And then like 2 seconds after that, I had to do like a lift.
Oh my
And
God.
it was a lift where basically there's 22 people in the dance. 21 people were clumped up on the other side of the stage. I'm here. I run into the 21 people, jump on someone's back, and then back fall into the group. Literally a minute after I got the concussion.
Oh. This is so brutal.
You're stronger than me.
No,
Yeah.
but and then I like I still did the following show because my parents were coming to that show and they flew all the way to see it, so I did that show.
Yeah,
But then
all the way to
afterwards
New
they were
York.
like, don't do anymore. Like
Yeah,
please
of
don't.
course.
So then I was like, okay, so I stepped out of the later shows. But so it's more the scenario. The concussion was mild. But like it was still like like lights sometimes hurt and sound sometimes was like it really threw me off.
Yeah.
But, and then I had a headache. But
Yeah.
it was pretty mild. It just lasts a long time, concussions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a minor concussion recently.
Me too.
Bro, how? Bro, how?
Oh,
No,
this was like-
not recently.
this was like
Wait,
a
tell
couple
your
months
story
ago.
first.
I don't even remember how or why I was in there, but I was in this very small confined space and I forgot that the ceiling was that low and I was sitting on the floor and then I got up, but then I forgot that the ceiling was so low, so then I just like hit my entire head on the ceiling and I was at full speed and so then
You
I
did
was
like a
Where's this
freaking
come
Mario
from?
jump. Okay, it's kind of funny, sorry.
and it's fine. And then I was like, uh-oh. And then I went upstairs and I laid in bed and I was like, I don't feel normal.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I was like, and light sensitivity and noise stuff, but in general it was fine. It was mostly I was like disoriented and I like couldn't think.
That's how I felt too. I was very
Yeah.
disoriented. Like it felt like there were like I'm like, dude, there's so many elevators at my school, and I was just getting on an elevator, and that was a crazy experience. I was just like,
I hate elevators.
whoa.
Yeah.
I hate elevators.
Dang. Okay, mine wasn't.
Wait, when was your concussion? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so this happened freshman year of high school. I used to do a lot of volunteering, and basically at the place I was volunteering, there was like a basketball court, and I was trying to help set up whatever like art activity was like gonna happen for that day. And literally before we even got a chance to set up, the basketball from the court hit me like right, I think on my left temple as well, and. Like, it hit my glasses, too. So what happened was the left leg of my glasses broke off and jabbed into my
Leg?
face, too. Or, like, not the leg, but, like, the part that rests on your ears. That part, like, broke off and, like, jabbed into my face. And I was, like, I didn't realize what had happened at first. All I, like, you know, was realizing was that my vision was blurry, and so I was like, oh shit, what happened? And then I was like, oh, my glasses are just on the floor. So I picked them up, saw that they were broken, and I was like, oh fuck. And then I turned to like a girl that was there, and I was like, am I bleeding? Because that was just the first thing that came to mind. And then I remember she went no, and then like a couple seconds after she was like, oh wait, now you are. And I was like, oh well. Great.
Oh my god.
And then I was like, okay, can you just like take me to a bathroom so I can try to like get a look at this? So I literally had to grab her hand, and she was trying to drag me to a bathroom. But to get to the bathroom, we had to go inside because we were outside when this happened. We went inside and we passed by all of the parents that were there having a meeting with like the volunteering director too. So they see this. My mom told me afterwards she was like really trying to keep her composure because she like wanted to freak out, but like sit me down, like, are getting me like ice and face cream, and then I start crying. I don't know. It didn't like hurt that bad in hindsight. I think like I was just overwhelmed by what was going on.
Yeah.
So I start crying, and then I got excused. My brother and I, because he's like a couple years older than me, but he was volunteering there too. We gotta leave early, but we got our hour, so like all good. I had to like I had to bandage it up, obviously, like the cut on my face, and then the next day I was tutoring, and my tutor, she saw me and she's like, oh my god, what happened? I told her, and she was like, did you get checked for concussion? And I was like, I didn't think I would have to, why? And then she started like listing off, you know, basic concussion symptoms, and like, I don't know if this is like the placebo effect or like this actually happening in real time, but I was like starting to like feel the symptoms as she was like describing them, and then I was like, okay, maybe I should get this checked out. And then I got checked out, and they said it was like a mild concussion too, and they gave me a doctor's note to be like excused from school for like a month or something crazy like that. But I was like, fuck that. Because it was like, I'm taking AP Human Geography and I'm at school. So I went for a month. But what was horrible about this was if you have a concussion, you're supposed to like, or like you're just really sensitive to like noise in general. But first semester of freshman year, I was taking both orchestra and jazz band. So I just was like constantly surrounded by noise. So like that, like,
why did you do that to yourself? That's horrible.
That little like gap of time, I remember like just feeling really disoriented like all the time, and just like having some kind of head pain, and just not
yeah,
really
because even though it's mild, it lasts a long time.
Yeah, and just like not being completely present for like what was going on around me. But I mean, I'm here, like still kicking, so yay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so hard to also tell. Oh my god. It's so hard to tell like when you're like over it too, because the symptoms are like, they're like disorienting, but it's not like a severe pain typically.
Yeah.
So it's not like, oh, the severe pain is gone. Like, I don't know, like, eventually there just came a point in the semester where I was like, oh wow, when I go in an elevator, it doesn't feel like I'm gonna fall. Like, you do get to that point, but there's no, like, stopping point, because my major is a physical activity, so it's so hard to, like, be like, alright, I'm ready to fully go into it now. It's so weird to be like, alright, now I'm good to go. I'm ready to go and do a cartwheel. Like, I, like... I don't know.
Yeah.
Also, the doctor at my school was very questionable, but it's okay.
Yeah. When I got my concussion, I had a job interview the next day.
Oh.
And so I was like, oh fuck. And I was like, I'm probably gonna be able to like go there. But then I didn't trust myself driving. So then I was like, okay, can I reschedule? And they were like, yeah. And then I rescheduled it for like a couple days later.
Oh.
And I felt fine driving by then.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't get the job.
Oh.
Oh.
And I think it was because I was too honest. I think maybe I'm gonna blame it on the concussion that I was like disoriented. But like
Yeah.
there was like I did
Yeah.
pretty well in the interview, I think. But then at the end, the guy was like, "So what are you gonna do when you like get home?" And I was like, I'm gonna go play video games." And he was like, "Okay." What game? And I was like,
horrible answer. Like,
well, I feel like he should have. I should have said something like productive.
what was the job even for?
It was for like some. Okay, this was not a real. I refuse to believe this was a real company. It was like It was in this giant office building. It was like a corporate office thing, and they're supposed to be like advertising for tech companies. I don't even know what the.
What?
I asked in the interview, like, can you explain like exactly what you guys do? And he was just like, yeah, so we like we do like so we talk to like Amazon and like and stuff and like tech companies and we do like advertising for them and I was just like, okay, I still don't quite know what that means, but it's fine. As long as I can.
Bullet, honestly.
Well,
yeah, I
yeah,
think you honestly dodged a bullet.
No, I was in the lobby, like, before the interview, and there was this, like, big glass office meeting thing. You know how they have the little meeting rooms?
Yeah.
And there was, like, a bunch of middle-aged white guys in there, right?
Per the usual.
And they had podcast mics
What?
in the meeting room. And then there was, like, a whiteboard, and they were just drawing shapes on it. They were just drawing like hexagons on it.
Wait, what did they mics for? Were they recording something? Like what?
I think they have I saw that they have a podcast. Like they have this
Okay.
really boring looking podcast where they talk about fucking finances or something.
Oh
or like
my
What's
God.
hexagons for then?
I have no idea. They were just drawing shapes and like they had like a oh my god, you know those like at carnivals and stuff, there's like those spinny things that have they're divided. It's a circle. It's divided into a bunch of things, and then you want to land on like certain options, and you spin it, and
I think
oh
so.
my god,
Just
let me
Like darts? Like a dart spin wheel?
spinning wheel
Are you Googling
picker. It was like one of these.
Like a spinning picker wheel.
Yes.
Yes.
picker
Okay,
wheel.
okay.
They had one of those.
Yeah.
And it was like rainbow, and
What?
it was like, so they were just, it was just so like unserious. Like they were just
Yeah.
spinning it and then like going yeah like when they got certain. And I was just
Yeah, I think you dodged a bullet. Actually,
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
I wish you got hired.
Dude, I
simply
kind of
so that
just
you kind of like
Yeah.
just so that you can like be in that room and be like, all right, guys, who's ready to spin the wheel today?
yeah, I kind of wish I feel like I wouldn't be in the room because like they were kind of old.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they weren't old, but they were like 30 to 40 years old,
Yeah.
50 even.
Yeah.
Wait,
you know,
30-year-olds?
like at the youngest.
That's so funny.
And I would have been starting as like a phone like fucking salesperson. I'm actually really glad I didn't take the job because I would just be doing phone calls and it would be so stupid and annoying. But
Yeah.
I basically at the end of the interview I was like, okay, I was really nervous for this. This was my first in-person job interview ever. So I was sitting there like motionless in the lobby just freaking out, and I was watching them like do their really stupid like incomprehensible podcast shit where they were just drawing shapes and like nodding their heads at the shapes.
That sounds so unserious.
Oh my god.
I was this is not a real company. This is like a front for something. They're laundering money. I don't know. And so then I go to the interview and I'm super tense. And when I'm nervous, I just like shut down kind of, and I'm like really emotionless, I guess. And so in the interview, I was just very like matter of fact and just saying my answers very straightforward, like. and then at one point he asked like if he were to ask one of my friends to describe me in one word or like in one way.
That question.
Oh, I hate that question.
And I was like, yeah, I hate it so much because it's like I have to like compliment myself, but like I don't know. It's
you gotta be
just
humble
cringe.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I was like, I know how people perceive me.
You're like smart, but like funny,
Yeah.
but like nice.
Okay. Thank you.
But you're short.
You're like 2 inches taller than me.
Damn, I got exposed.
Maybe 3. On a good day.
No, I'm like 5'4".
You're not stand up.
I'm 5'4".
You're 5'4". It went quiet. I don't know what they're doing. I think they're measuring each other's heights.
This is not.
Okay, but I'm in a stance.
Stand normally then.
Stance normal.
Stance normal.
Yeah, it's quite a bit.
Hang
That's
on.
quite a bit. No.
3.
I swear I'm like 5'3.5 then. Like 5'3.5. I've grown
God.
somewhat.
Oh my God.
I'm 4'11". I'm 4'11 and a half. I'm 5 feet tall at most.
4'11 and a half.
I might be 5 feet tall. I actually don't know. Sometimes I just round up. Actually, I'm 6'3". And 3/4.
Oh yeah, for sure.
US 6'3" would be crazy.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Did they ask you an interview question of like, what is your favorite shape?
Hexagon.
I wish they did.
So, do you have like a favorite shape, or
I would have said like
there's only one correct
isosceles-
answer, by the way.
I would have said like isosceles triangle. I think.
Nerd.
I'm not a triangle person myself.
Yeah, like personally, I wouldn't take that if I were you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, he asked me to like describe myself, and I was like the way that I think that people perceive me is I'm like a little grimbly, like a little squimlow, a little.
Is that actually what you said?
I didn't say that. I was just thinking like oh people
Yeah,
like
a little grim, a little scribbly.
I was thinking, you know, people describe me as sometimes a little scrimbly, a little grumbo, maybe like a little goblin, maybe a little gremlin.
Goblin definitely.
Yeah, like a little gremlin, a little goblin, and so I was like, okay, I guess like what is that? That's silly. Okay, I was like, people would probably talk about my sense of humor, and they'd probably say that I'm funny. And so but I was like, in the entire interview, I was looking at him like, and responding in like the most like serious way possible. And in that moment, I was like, they would probably say I'm funny, but I just realized that I'm not being funny right now because I'm so scared.
You should have said that.
I did.
Oh, you did.
I did say that.
That's funny. If your interviewer didn't laugh after that,
No.
that's crazy.
I don't think he was human either because he wasn't blinking the entire time. Like he had like the bluest eyes I've ever seen.
Oh my
And
God.
they were piercing. And he
Oh my God.
he wouldn't blink at all. He was just staring straight at me. Completely eye contact the entire time.
You should have started him back.
Well, I was trying. I was like, I feel like I have to. I feel like he's gonna.
Oh, true as fuck.
It was scaring me, but I was like trying to keep eye contact. It was.
My God.
So anyways, then he was like, don't be nervous. And I was like, how can I not be nervous? You're literally like
You're literally not blinking, and
You're
I saw you
staring
guys
daggers
write
into my soul, and you're saying, "Don't be afraid."
Geometric. That's the word. Geometric shapes.
Literally drawing like a fucking pentagon on the whiteboard and nodding at it like it meant something. And so then I just other than that, I feel like the interview went like pretty well. And then I left, and he was like, "What are you gonna do after this?" I was like, "I'm gonna play video games." And he was like, "What video game?" And I was like, "DayZ." And then he had never heard of the game, so then I was like, "Oh, it's like a zombie apocalypse game, and you survive, and it's a game where you survive, and that's it." And it's
Hey, have you ever heard of video games, sir?
Hey, have you ever heard of DayZ? Are you a DayZ enjoyer? and he was like, "Oh, we have a gamer in the office."
Oh.
He was like, "Oh, we have a gamer in the office." And he like turns to like one of the other guys, and he's like, "Have you ever heard of DayZ?" And the guy didn't know what DayZ was, and I was like, "Fuck."
The gamer of the office.
That's so awkward. So awkward.
Oh god.
You're like, don't worry. They have pentagons in the game too.
They really don't. It's just zombies.
They have cool shapes.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for listening to our. Sorry.
No, keep going.
Okay, guys. All right. Okay, so thank you guys for listening to our epic podcast. We're out here. We'll be uploading probably weekly, if not just just always have. I'll always be checking your notifications.
Yeah, subscribe and hit that bell just to make sure you never.
Just in case you never miss another opportunity to see our beautiful faces and hear our beautiful voices. Oh, and be sure to comment too. I don't even think there's a place to. I think there's a place to comment, correct? It's here on YouTube, right?
It's YouTube.
Okay, then definitely give it that like, and then make sure you give us some good comments. All hate comments will be deleted. I'm kidding.
We'll delete them.
I'm kidding. Anyway, please subscribe.
Actually,
hit the
we're
bell.
gonna pin the hate comments.
Actually,
Yes,
we think
yes.
it would be really funny if we pinned all of your guys' hate comments and then made a song out of it. So,
Wow.
God.
Now you're
I'm
promising things.
I'm kidding. But I do think it would be funny. Anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in on Short of Expectations. We are so grateful for your support. Please come back later. We don't bite. Bye!
Yeah, bye.
Oh,
Oh, God.
Okay, I'm gonna stop recording.